Now, once you've started creating content, you're posting regularly, and you want to figure out, how am I going to make sure the right people see this? Because posting without engaging and not getting anyone talking to you or following you can kind of feel like you're screaming into the void a little bit, right? How many people in this room feel like they create a lot of content, but they don't really get anything from it right now? Yeah. I was talking to a founder the other day, and she's like, I've been at this for a year, and I just don't see the point anymore. And I asked her, I said, well, what are you doing on social? And she's like, well, I post content this often, and I follow trends, and I'm doing all this. And I said, what are you doing outside of content creation? And she didn't know. She was like, well, I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. And I said, well, content creation is one part of that formula. You can be creating lots and lots of content, and maybe something will go viral. Who knows? You can't really rely on that though, right? One way that you can make sure the right people are finding out about you is engaging with other accounts yourself. So I like to set this as like a mindset shift. Every comment, every like, every tag that you make on your page is like a little mini billboard for you. So if you're out there spreading your brand into the ether and talking to other people, that's going to double your visibility. You're not waiting for them to miraculously discover you anymore. You're out there finding the people and engaging with them. All right? So you're going to show up in their feed, and you're going to show up in yours. I like to think of this as like online networking. So this is commenting on posts from partners, your customers, local influencers, making sure that you're replying thoughtfully, not just saying great post or congrats. Do something of value, cheer them on, ask questions.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I run a local marketing agency, but this is so valid and it's like such an easy, authentic way. I just want to like validate that publicly. I hope you guys don't mind, but it's and you think the same thing, like why would you expect anybody else to engage with your stuff if you're not engaging? But also, I get a lot more followers and a lot more engagement when I leave thoughtful comments on related posts and pages.
Yeah.
So it's great.
This is your networking online. This is you going out and talking to people. Social is supposed to be social. It's not just about creating content. It's about having conversations. It also rewards you when you make content. So the algorithms in social are looking for you to be commenting, having conversations. And if you're actively doing that in target accounts that have similar followers that you want before you post, you'll get rewarded for that in the way that they showcase your post to others. It actually improves your reach. So like I have people that are on my content teams that spend 30 minutes before they post anything just going out and engaging with other accounts on a target list. And then they go make a post. And that means that the algorithm's going to love that I'm engaging with all these people, and it's going to say these are the types of people that this account should be engaging with, and we want to engage with this post. So it helps them understand who they should be serving this up to that doesn't already follow you. And it helps people when they are seeing your post and going to look at you, see that first post more quickly. Because they're like, oh, who is this person that just commented? Let me go look. Oh, I like this content. So you're creating that funnel to you with every single comment or like or share of someone else's content. So when we think about who we engage with, yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you're in a group or whether you're on someone's personal page or whether you're on their business page for the comments. Should you focus on one or the other?
It really doesn't matter. From what I've found, they just want you to be engaging in some way. I would say comments are the most impactful, is going through and commenting on other pages more than likes and more than shares, at least from an algorithmic standpoint. To understand who your account engages with. But it doesn't really matter what types of page. You could, if you're in Facebook and you have multiple groups that you engage with, go spend 15 minutes, responding into threads and then go make your post. If you're in LinkedIn, you could comment, just go through your feed and see what's interesting to you and say, I'm going to comment a few times here and there. and then I'm going to make my post. And that actually helps you with your reach for that post that you make. So when you think about who to engage with, think about partners, so businesses that you already work with or you want to be working with. I like to emphasize that if you have someone that you really think would be a great partner for your business, those are the people that you should be commenting on. You should be engaging with them actively and asking them questions and providing insight on their page because it's value to them too. And it makes them sit back and be like, whoa, who is this person? Or what is this business? Why do they have such good insight into what we do? Or ask great questions. Customers, so anytime you're getting tagged in something by a customer, if you follow your customer pages, be engaging back and forth with them. That's not only going to help your relationship with them, but it shows other customers that you're actively engaged, right? And that's what they can expect when they tag you or engage with you. Local influencers and community leaders. So who in your area has lots of followers that are going to see your comment? So let's say you want to engage people in food and beverage who are the local Sonoma County influencers that are out there talking about wine or talking about food, or bartenders at the local restaurant that share all their drink photos. You want to go find those people. And then also, within the community as a whole, if you're trying to work with more entrepreneurs, you probably want to go engage with a page like mine who works with lots of local entrepreneurs. All right? And then find the hangouts, the digital and the community spaces. So not only the groups like we were talking about, but also the hashtags. What hashtags are trending right now that you can go click on and then go find a bunch of accounts that you want to follow in and make some comments. So that's 4 ways to find people to engage with, and make kind of a little list for yourself. And then how to engage. Every single one of these comments has a question. And that's very intentional because you want to give someone a reason to respond back to you. Not only is that person going to get rewarded for having a comment on their post by the algorithm, when they comment back, they'll get rewarded twofold because there's a reply and it started a conversation. They want people to be talking to each other, not in a void. That's the goal of social. So if you can create a conversation and keep people talking, and maybe even move that offline, that's a good sign, right? So every single one of these ends with a question, and these are just some examples of ways that I've helped other people grow their page. Ask for insight on the post. How do you come up with your new flavors? What inspired you? Share an invite. We tried something dissimilar, and this is what I learned. What have you seen? I totally agree with this. What inspired you to try this, particular take? We did this last year. If you show curiosity about how they did something, what tool did you use to make this? Or, what's the hardest part about pulling this off? Ask questions people are going to respond to. Because when someone asks this about your business, do you want to respond to that, right? The same goes for them. So if you're out there engaging with other people and asking them questions, they're much more likely to start a conversation with you, go follow you, go look at your page, go learn more about you. So it's your own little mini billboard, right? Be customer-oriented. Ask them questions about their customers. Ask your customers questions about their satisfaction. Tell me about what your experience in the store was, or did you like this piece? Did you try this on when you came in? What did you order from the menu tonight? Those types of questions are going to help them start that conversation with you. Other ways you can do that, cross-business support. So let's say you're a yoga studio and you want to go find potential partners and there's a juice bar down the street. Ask them, what's the best one for us to recommend to our students afterward? We'll send them there. And that starts their conversation being like, oh, they're so community-centric. Let's have a conversation. I'm going to share that, and then you share that on your page. Piggyback on events. If you're a local business and there's something going on in the square that night and you're within walking distance, go comment on the posts about the event and let people know you're open late or you're having a sale that day. Answer questions in groups. This is a big one. So if you're in Facebook groups, you should be the one answering the questions and starting the next question. People looking for recommendations, that's a really good place for you to jump in. Even if you're not the right recommendation for them, if you're the one helping them out, they think favorably of you, right? Partner visibility. So if you've got partners in the area that you can recommend, this is a good B2B example. Comment on their post. This is a great point. I've noticed more clients that are asking me about this. What do you recommend, or what can help make this easier for them? And then again, local hashtags, big. Go follow all the local hashtags and then use them to comment.